Всем привет! Вы на канале Terras Game, и сегодня мы начинаем прохождение игры Черное зеркало 3. Всем приятного просмотра! Ну, единственный, конечно, минус этой игры, что нету русской озвучки.
Hey, you there. What are you doing?
Help me, I'm being chased. They're after me, they're gonna kill me. The order, the academy, it's collapsed. My sister and my mother are dead.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
That's just what I was going to say. That's the bloke we've been looking for. That's the Yang.
What?
Well, what a coincidence, Mr. Michaels. I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Miss Amanda Valley. And probably for arson, too.
What? No!
Take him away, Constable.
Inspector, I think I found her.
Damn! Call on the lads. There's nothing more we can do here.
She didn't set herself.
Why not? Perhaps she was cold and set herself on fire? For God's sake, she was murdered. Am I the only one round here with half a brain? Anyway, we are not going to find any more clues. It's been raining all night. You stay here and wait for the cavalry. I'll go down to the village and ask some questions.
Bit early for a beer, isn't it, Inspector?
I'm here on official business, Tom.
It wasn't me, honest. Me brother Bobby's me witness.
Do you know Amanda Valley?
Yes, unfortunately. I still owe her money.
Well, hold on to it. Buy her a wreath.
Heck, why? Is she dead?
You could say that. Burned. Probably last night between 6 p.m. and midnight. Where were you at that time?
Hey, Inspector, you know I wouldn't kill anyone. Especially not over a few quid. I was out with Bobby at a theme park, Alton Towers. Got home pretty late and went straight to bed.
So, do you know if Miss Valley had any enemies?
Apart from the Gordons?
The Gordons.
Her brother was caught up by that Samuel chap. I guess that was before your time. Since then, she's absolutely hated that family. Have you seen her flat? It's bloody mad, I tell you.
Any other tips?
Have you seen that Yank that's been sneaking around here recently? I'd check him out if I were you. He's the one with the blood in his hands. He was chatting with Amanda Valley in front of the pub a few days ago. He asked me about a tackle for robbing houses. No idea why he came to me, but it sounded pretty suspicious.
Holy, she really hadn't gotten over it. What have we got here? Interesting. Aha, Darren Michaels, Bedford, Maine, last week. I'll bet anyone 10 quid that's the Yank Tom was talking about.
Inspector, the castle's on fire.
Oh, great. As if a burnt corpse wasn't enough. Come on.
Just listen to what I've got to say first. You can't just...
Come on, get in the car.
Caught with a flaming torch next to a burning castle. If this isn't my ticket out of this dump, then God only knows.
So, you fell in love with this woman?
Angelina.
Fell in love with Angelina without knowing she was your sister. She lured you to England, to Black Mirror Castle, the castle of your ancestors, to use you as a key for an old ritual. That's right, isn't it? Do me a favor and put the lighter down, all right? You said it had something to do with a curse, Adrian.
You tell me. All I know is that I drizzled blood on a book and read out incomprehensible words. And then bang, black all around me. And the next thing I can remember, there were sounds in the woods behind me getting nearer. All in all, a grade A nightmare. The ritual probably worked, and now I'm possessed by a centuries-old evil soul that wants to bend my mortal body to its purpose.
You believe you're carrying a second soul? Oh, Adrian, I know that feeling well. But believe me, no one is cursed. Children always believe they're to blame for grown-up suffering. These feelings of guilt have branded themselves into your soul. So, how was it for you to meet your biological mother after all these years? You said you didn't have much time to talk to her?
No, she was taken hostage by Angelina. They both died shortly afterwards. They fell into the abyss in the ritual chamber.
In the ritual chamber? Exactly. And your foster mother in America, did you have a chance to talk to her about it?
No, she was in a coma, and then she died.
All right, then. Perhaps we should forget about the women in your family for the time being and turn to more happy matters. Let's talk about your father. Wait a minute, Constable. We're not finished yet.
Perhaps we can leave that till tomorrow.
As you wish.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the inspector has something important he needs to talk with Mr. Michaels about. And you know what the inspector's like. It's about the bail.
Is it still not high enough for him? There's no one who would spend a penny on me anyway.
Don't say that.
All right, Doc. Have you got a spare 5,000 pounds?
Yes. Well, I can't do that, Adrian. I'm your doctor.
Mr. Michaels, come along now, please.
If there's anything you want to talk about, Adrian, I'm here most of the time. And Zach, tell the inspector he should keep to the arranged times. I don't burst in when he's in the middle of an interrogation.
Yes, Mum. I'll tell him.
So how's your abused little arsonist soul? Stroked better by the nice doctor? I hope you see the burning faces of the 4 poor souls you have on your conscience every single night.
Thanks for asking.
You know what? I'm starting to run out of patience with you. If I could, I'd have you deported. Your fellow countrymen should be made to endure your fairy tales. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
If you'd led a decent investigation, then you'd have found evidence for my fairy tales a good while back.
And now the little thug wants to tell me how to do my job. Constable Zach was down in the sewers for 2 days, and what did he find? Nothing. And Miss Valley's also a mysterious order. Nonsense. No one here has even heard of it.
They had an assembly chamber in the mine, and Victoria knows about it too.
Assembly chamber? Don't make me laugh. Miss Valley gave lectures on the cursed Gordon clan in there. And the old biddy hasn't spoken since the fire.
Gordon clan? Old biddy? Stop talking about my family like that.
Your family? Yeah, well, you'd actually fit in with those loonies.
Whatever. Can I go back to my cell now?
Unfortunately, I have to throw you out of your little paradise. Someone's paid your bail.
What did you say? Who?
Doesn't seem to be a friend of yours. Wanted to stay anonymous. Well, whatever. Get your things and get out of here. But don't go too far. Otherwise, I'll have to put you on the wanted list. That would be pretty much the most stupid thing that could happen to you.
I can well believe it.
All the better. So be a good boy and go collect your things from your apartment.
Так, ну что, можно идти дальше.
As far as I know, there's no evidence room here. Collected evidence is kept in these lockers. They're always locked. Would be nice if it worked. A garbage dump would be more sterile than these toilets. I've slept on this pillow in this damn uncomfortable bed for the last 3 weeks. It doesn't smell as bad as it did at first. Only the Willow Creek police know why there's only one locker for a 2-man cell. My pencil... but where's my diary? The locker was open and my diary isn't inside. Damn. My friendly fellow inmate, Matt Newcastle. One of those kind of people that my mother always warned me about. Have you seen my diary?
Your diary? And here's me thinking it belonged to some nutter. I don't know what happened to me in the ritual chamber. What went wrong?
How did you get into my locker? Stop that! Constable!
Or worse, what if nothing went wrong? What if Mordred has been freed and has taken possession of me and is making me do his bidding? Please, somebody help me. Stop me from becoming a murderer.
Give that here, you bastard!
I don't want to be Mordred's puppet. I want this fiend to disappear, back to the hell he crawled out of.
I'll have you! I'll kill you!
Boo-hoo-hoo! I don't want to be a murderer. Boo-hoo! Don't make me crap myself. I'm so scared. Hey, what's wrong with you? Hey, Scarface! Oh, forget it, you nutter.
Can you sign here, please, just to confirm that you've read the bail conditions and that you've been instructed to register with Dr. Winterbottom every day. This here is a declaration of your state of health at the time of your provisional release.
But there's only good or very good on there.
So, you're not feeling so good then?
No.
Well, don't forget to sign it then. Here's your wallet. I keep the passport. And you need to sign here that you got your things back.
You promise with all this signing you haven't secretly slipped a confession in there too?
That's not permitted.
Ah, so I'm in luck then. Just a minute, I was being a bit premature. There's $500,000 missing.
You should have checked for that before signing for it. Any subsequent complaints have to be addressed to our regional HQ in Bristol.
All right, just a joke. Is that it then?
Yes, you're free to go now, Mr. Michaels.
Amen.
Mr. Michaels?
Something else to sign?
No. I just wanted to inform you that your solicitor is assuming you're going to call him soon. Here's his card.
Got it. Catch you later, Constable. Free at last. Well, relatively. At least I can now prove my innocence by my own means. Now, let's see what my lawyer wants from me.
Так, надо где-то телефон. А вот телефонная будка.
A fortune teller's business card. Madame Fortuna. You'll see your future. And her phone number. Hello?
Welcome to Madame Fortuna's.
Yeah, hi. My name's Adrian.
Stop. Speak no more, Adrian. I know why you are calling.
Oh, really?
You want to find out about your future.
Yes.
Adrian, you've come to the right place. I will read your cards for today. Pick a card.
Over the phone.
Say stop.
Stop.
I've drawn the tower.
And I've put the pawn on A3.
Hmm? Tarot, Adrian, not chess. There will be drastic changes to your life. Ah, I see. Death.
Great.
You will be ripped apart by wild beasts.
Wild beasts. Huh.
But Adrian, there is something you can do about it.
Really? What then?
Stay away from beasts.
Yeah. Thanks. What a load of crap.
Mr. Jones from the law firm Jones & Partners.
Hello, Mr. Jones. Darren Michaels here. I was told you wanted to speak to me?
Ah, Mr. Michaels, yes. The investigations are stagnating, rather. As long as there's no evidence for the allegations brought against you, you can't be charged. So that's good. On the other hand, your fellow countrymen want to step into the ring, too. The American embassy is on our backs. That's not so good.
And what does that mean exactly?
Well, that you're going to have to sit tight in Willow Creek for quite a while. Inspector Spooner's investigation methods. You implied the last time that you weren't too happy with him?
Yes. It seems to me that Spooner isn't really bothered anymore.
Inspector Spooner just wanted to produce a guilty party and then get the case closed as soon as he could. He has to produce results so that he can get back to London. But he's rather used up all his ammo. Now he's hoping that the embassy will take the case off him so that he doesn't have to chalk it up as a failure.
So he doesn't really seem to be interested in the truth.
Well, the truth, Mr. Michaels, as is generally known, is the invention of a liar. But the fact you've got bail is a good sign. And that someone's been found to pay for it is even better. Perhaps you should have a look yourself, now that you've been released, for some clues or slip-ups in the investigation. Would be best if you could get a copy of your files.
Are you convinced that I'm innocent, Mr. Jones?
Of course, Mr. Michaels. Do you think I could represent you if I wasn't? Nevertheless, we should hurry up and find some solid evidence to prove it.
This somebody who you maintain means well has paid the bail anonymously. Can you find out who it was?
No problem. But it'll take a couple of days.
How long do I have to put up with this psychotherapy?
You're gonna have to hang in there for a few more rounds at least. It's in your best interest.
The last assessment was rejected. What good can it do?
Forget about the authorities. You ever thought that you might actually need therapy?
Do you think I'm crazy?
Aren't we all? But seriously, Mr. Michael, try and do something about your mental condition. If you end up having to face a lawsuit in the States, your family's mental history isn't going to impress the jury one bit. So stop blocking shots and come out from behind your guard, man.
You said I should have another look at my file. Is it really so easy to do that?
Well, it depends on the inspector in charge. But if you flatter him a little, he might let you have a look. Otherwise, I could request a copy and send it on to you.
That's gonna take too long. I'll try to get my hands on it myself. Mr. Jones, did you find out anything about my identity? The police here don't seem to be putting any effort into it.
Yes. Concerning your identity, Mr. Michaels, it's hard to prove anything at the moment. Find documents, birth certificates, that kind of thing. But don't forget to go to your therapy sessions.
Whatever. I'll be in touch.
Keep your head up. Attack is the best form of defense.
The sugar's empty. At last, a ray of sunshine. I was beginning to think there were only gross-looking guys with alcohol problems living in this dump. Coffee culture is spreading. Mild beans and double roasted. Is Willow Creek ready for this?
Так. Ну тут вроде бы пока интересного ничего нету, хотя можно с продавщицей поговорить.
You could sit and eat here. There's nothing to buy anymore, though. A piece of thin board. Ah, it's a menu. They probably don't need it anymore. What's her problem? That must be the shopkeeper with a whistle hung around her neck. She looks a bit nervous. I wonder if that's because of me. Hello.
What do you want?
This is a shop, isn't it? Then maybe I want to buy something?
Okay.
I'm Darren, by the way.
I know exactly who you are.
Oh, really? Who am I then?
You're the arsonist who was in the newspaper.
I'm not gonna set your shop on fire. Anyway, I'm innocent.
Oh, I'm sure you are. But please, don't stay too long. Otherwise, I will have to call the police.
Yeah, right.
And without a telephone, I'll just use my whistle.
What is this? Willow Creek's main shopping drag?
Oh, we've got everything that people need here. Usually, you can order too, but then it'll be delivered next week, if that's okay with you.
That won't be necessary. I'm just having a look around. The old woman who just ran out. Could it be that she's a little crazy?
Dorothy? Oh no, she's just as crazy as you are. I mean, she's fine. The whistle was her idea.
Are you scared of me?
Of course not. I've got my whistle. As soon as anyone comes too close, I blow it. And it's so loud, even the gravedigger in Wormhill can hear it.
Clever, Abaya.
How do you know my name?
You've got that little badge on?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, your name's quite uncommon, Abaya. Where does it come from?
It's Indian. Don't you like it?
Oh, I do. It sounds very pretty. Does it mean anything?
The fearless one.
See ya.
I hope not.
Walking maps of the area. Indispensable for a suspected murderer out on bail, like myself. I don't know why I shouldn't just steal these maps. Everyone here thinks I'm a criminal anyway. I'd like to buy one of these walking maps.
Please take it. You don't need to come to the till. It's on the house.
Oh, thank you very much.
I hope you only want to cut up veggies with that. Sir?
Some very nice knives. Some very nice knives. Just like...
Так, подожди, мне надо вернуться вот туда, к магазину.
I'd just like to see my file before... Fresh vegetables. A very paltry selection. I prefer the frozen variety. The sorry remains of a sorry annual fair. I don't think there's anything useful here. Hi,
I know. I recognize you from the newspaper.
And you're not gonna run away screaming?
I'd have a lot of running to do if I ran away from every weirdo in this dump.
You really like living here, huh? Has anything exciting happened recently?
Apart from the fire at the castle? Wait a minute. Yeah, the espresso machine broke down.
Has this cafe been here long? I've never noticed it before.
We were closed during the fair this year.
Is it even worth having a cafe here in the village?
You'll have to ask my dad. It's his cafe. Why do you ask? Do you want to open one too?
Yeah, sure. Right next door. A Black Mia special cafe with ritual blood cappuccino and latte morbidato.
Good idea. Could have come from Murray.
By the way, I'm Darren. Or Adrian Gordon. Take your pick.
I'm Denise. Or the one who's got no time for insane arsonists. Take your pick.
Wow. I think I prefer Denise.
All right then, Darren.
So, what's a young woman like you doing in a place like this? Not one for city living?
Hell yeah. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
You mean when the twice-yearly bus to London stops here?
Something like that.
Maybe I'll see you later. I think the door leads into the storeroom. At least that's what this sign suggests. A letterbox. Nothing special. It looks like it hasn't been used for a very long time. I'm about to change that. just like this.
Так, я не знаю, эту губку, наверное, намочить бы надо.
Probably belongs to a fisherman. My dry sponge is now a wet sponge. That's Chief Inspector Spooner, the man that made the last 3 weeks of my life a living hell. A real ray of sunshine. Do you have a moment, Inspector?
If you're quick.
Why do you dislike me?
I'm a cop. You're a criminal.
Come on, little bit of friendliness never hurt anyone.
Miss Valley was friendly.
It wasn't me. How many times do I have to tell you? My doctor, Winterbottom, has she been living in Willow Creek for long?
She moved here 10, 12 years ago.
Why? Because of the murders?
Ask her yourself.
What was it that brought you here?
I don't know what that's got to do with you.
What about your partner? He seems really busy.
Zach. He's not my partner, he's my constable. And yes, he's got lots to do, so don't disturb him.
And you really don't know who paid my bail?
It's paid to the court, not to me. I just got a letter from them saying I should let you go.
The guy in the other cell.
Is a paragon of virtue.
What did he do?
He beat up annoying little Americans. Should I let him out?
All right, all right. This here village, Willow Creek. Are there many criminals here?
Only since you turned up.
Does that mean it was quieter before? Not even a little bit of shoplifting?
Just normal village life. Punch-ups, rape, and drink driving.
So pretty much nothing happening. Can I have a look at my file?
Why? Have you forgotten something you've done?
Apart from the fact that it wasn't me?
No, you can't have a look.
Could you make me a copy of it then?
Of course not. That's a police file.
Why should I want to set fire to the castle?
Well, it could be because you were shipped off to America as a kid and had a miserable life there. Until you found out that you'd been taken for a ride your whole life. Then you came back to England to take revenge on your family.
What a load of crap.
So you finally admit it. It's all total bollocks. That's exactly why you have to see Dr. Winterbottom. And I'm gonna make sure that there are a lot more doctors taking care of you all day for the rest of your life. I can tell you why it was you. Because you're bloody mad. A nutter. You're obsessed with being a Gordon. A descendant of a murderous clan. It's some kind of justification for your irrational desire to burn and set fire to things. You pyromaniac.
It was Lewis. Damn you.
Oh yeah, the gardener. Then find him. He's disappeared without a trace since you've been here. Have you got him weighing on your conscience too? Spit it out.
Have you found out anything about my ancestry?
Yep, I've got a copy of Darren Michael's birth certificate here. Born on the 27th of February 1970 in Boston, Massachusetts.
And what about Adrian Gordon?
He's still dead in the Gordon crypt. That's what it says in the death certificate signed by Dr. Heinz Herman. Cause of death, 5th degree burns.
5th degree? In other words, only his ashes are left. How convenient. That's all for now.
I'm keeping my eye on you.
Hello, Doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course. Come on up.
Doctor?
What's troubling you, Adrian?
Do you believe me?
Darren, Adrian, we've gone through this so many times before. Of course I believe you.
Then why am I still on the hit list?
I'm a doctor, not a judge. By the way, they rejected the assessment of your not being of sound mind.
Rejected? But what about the awful nightmares?
That kind of reaction is only normal, Adrian. If somebody suddenly revealed to me that I was descended from a long line of bloodthirsty murderers, I'd have nightmares too.
How come you ended up here in the first place?
A colleague of mine I'd known from my student days. A doctor. Heinz Herman. Once worked here in the sanatorium. He was a friend of the Gordons. Then, 12 years ago, those dreadful murders took place. Heinz was one of the victims. I came here to give his family and the others a little spiritual support, and I'm still here. That's just how life goes sometimes.
This Spooner reckons he's a bit of a big shot.
He's one of those people who pack their own bags and then complain when they're too heavy.
What kind of bags?
Oh, he mucked something up in London and was posted here as punishment. Something he's not dealing with too well.
What did he do? Book the wrong guy?
You know about it? Well, Mr. Spooner is a bit of a trigger-happy cowboy. As far as I know, he overstepped his authority back in London, and that led to some guilty people getting off. Or maybe the other way round. However, I'm not exactly right in the picture with all this.
Oh, great. A bad-natured investigator who can't tell the difference between guilty and innocent. I couldn't have come up against a better guy. Get this, I've been released on bail.
Well, that's a good reason to celebrate.
I'm not quite so sure. The bail was paid anonymously. You know anything about that by any chance?
Anonymously? No. Who'd do something like that?
No idea. To be honest, I'd hoped you were behind it. You like living in Willow Creek?
Yes, I like the life and the people. It's like time stood still here.
And every few years, along comes some psycho and murders half a dozen locals.
Yes, well, compared to the murder statistics in London, it's a proper holiday here.
Do you see me as being an arsonist?
Judging by your nightmares, you do at least seem to have a violence-orientated imagination.
Yeah, but Stephen King has that too.
As far as I'm aware, he has never been under suspicion of an arson attack resulting in 3 dead.
Whose side are you actually on?
On your side, Adrian.
Good. I swear to you that I've only ever told you the truth.
There are as many truths as there are people, Adrian, and we still have to find yours.
I had a strange experience earlier. It was just like one of my nightmares, but this time I was awake. It was in the police station, just as I was wanting to pick up my stuff. I suddenly found I had awesome strength. I dragged the guy to me through the bars and rammed my pencil into his eye. Wham! Then it was all over. It was just so real. Scary.
You don't say.
Huh, great. So I'm cursed and possessed.
I was talking to a colleague about you the other day. She's how shall I put it? She understands alternative therapies.
What's that all about then? Drugs? Electric shock? Voodoo?
Hypnosis.
You're not serious.
It would at least be a possible way of finding out more.
Well, for my part, as long as you don't saw open the top of my skull. These sessions, how long are they supposed to continue for?
What do you mean?
Well, I've been coming here every day for the past 3 weeks, but I'm still having nightmares every night, and the assessment says I'm 100% fit.
We ought to try hypnosis.
And what's that supposed to do? You want to join in on my nightmares?
Let's just try it tomorrow. If we can get to your roots, then perhaps we'll understand what your dreams are trying to tell us.
Boo! That's what they want to tell us. The dreams, I mean. Well, okay then, Doc. If you think that this might help me in some way. Catch you later.
Take care.
I don't want to disturb her from doing nothing any longer. And anyway, I don't know anyone who does nothing as beautifully as Denise. I don't want to disturb her from doing nothing any longer. And anyway, I don't know anyone who does nothing as beautifully as Denise. Shame. No donuts left. Hello? Are you out of donuts?
No, there are some in the storeroom, but they're reserved for the nice inspector. He buys them here every morning.
Of course. And what if I want one too?
Then bake one yourself.
When does the inspector usually come in?
He should have been here to pick up his donuts ages ago. He's probably been delayed by the scum of the earth. Again.
Phew, nice description.
That's what Conrad calls his clientele, not me.
Conrad?
Conrad Spooner. That's what the inspector's called. Didn't you know?
I didn't know that donuts was so popular in England.
I don't know, but I do know that Spooner loves them. Just as much as those cops in American TV shows.
And what does the dear inspector do when there aren't any donuts left?
He always gets what he wants. If need be, I bake him some.
I'd like a coffee, black.
Coming up.
Okay, I've got to come up with something that's gonna make Spooner hang out here in the cafe for a while. A high-performance chest freezer with a glass lid. Not a lot in it. A pack of tart bases. Oh, and a box of ice cream. Mint and chocolate. The seal is in really bad shape. If it gets wet, you probably wouldn't be able to get the chest open anymore. I'll wet the sealing rubbers with the wet sponge. If you close the freezer now, the water will freeze and it'll be almost impossible to open it again without defrosting the whole thing. If I close the freezer now, I'll probably never be able to open it again. I'd rather leave it. If I close the freezer now, I'll probably never be able to open it again. I'd rather leave it. A shelf full of stock for the cafe. What have we got here? Coffee, tea, juice, milk. Ah, and a package of donuts. There are things like coffee, tea, juice, and milk on the shelf. Those have to be the donuts specially reserved for Spooner. I'm only just out on bail. I don't want to end up straight back in the can for shoplifting. I'll put the box of donuts in a nice visible spot in the freezer. Farewell, you donuts. Nobody's gonna be getting you out of there in a hurry. Now that ought to slow down the inspector's donut order somewhat.
Another one of these flat days today. I could really do with something to lift me up a little.
Edward could come along at any time. Better if we wait till this evening.
Sod Edward. Give me a couple of donuts at least.
Yeah, sure. I'll get you some. Conrad, your donuts seem to have ended up in the freezer.
Yeah? They can't you bung them in the oven for a bit?
The problem is, the lid's frozen solid.
Ah, I get it. You want me to help you warm up your frozen chest?
I think those two are gonna be busy for a while.